Hey guys, this is Money Value. My name is Olga and it's news time. Let's see what's happened this week. I'll start with Bitcoin. This currency hit a record high of $48,297. It means it's up more than 60% compared to January. There are several reasons for that. First one being Elon Musk, as if it could have been something else. The thing is, Tesla bought 1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin and announced they would accept it as a payment for their goods. It's like raising Dogecoin wasn't enough for Musk. He had to do the same for Bitcoin. In case you've missed it, thanks to Elon Musk, Snoop Dogg, and Kiss bassist, Dogecoin price went up 1,600%. And if you're interested, here's a link to a video about it. But back to Bitcoin. Besides Musk, the oldest Bank of America, BNY Mellon, said it would start financing Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. Here's how they comment on that. BNY Mellon is proud to be the first global bank to announce plans to provide an integrated service for digital assets. And one more thing, MasterCard said it will offer support for customers to transact in some selected cryptocurrencies this year, and Bitcoin will most likely be one of them. So those are three reasons why Bitcoin surged again, but we all know what was the main one. Now to some less cheerful news. Unemployment claims are still at elevated levels. There are 793,000 of them last week. That's about 105,000 claims per day, which is 36% less than 2 weeks ago. Unemployment rate is just about 10%, which is more than Labor Department thought because some people were miscalculated as employed. Congress is still working to pass the 1.9 trillion economic relief package proposed by Biden and Democrats. But as for now, unemployed workers receive extra $300 per week, and according to the Democrats' plan, this number will increase up to $400. Let's get to some stock market related news. While people are breaking quarantine to have dates, a company founded in 2014 is going public. And if you see no difference between Tinder and all other apps, Bumble does have a difference. It requires women to make the first step, and our modern, open-minded society seems to like it. The company got a ticker symbol BMBL on Nasdaq and is worth more than $8 billion. The share price now is $70 with a maximum of $77. Now compared to the IPO share price of $43. Anyway, they raised $2.15 billion on the latest. Feminists must have been thrilled. But it's not the first time shares rally on the first day so much. For example, food delivery company DoorDash surged 86% on their first day of trading, and Airbnb more than doubled when it had their debut. Anyway, it's still impressive, don't you think? And how can it be possible to make a news video without mentioning lawsuits or illegal actions? There are non-profit organizations that run the city's 2 billion network of homeless shelters, and it sounds like they're doing a noble thing, but yep, there is a but. The thing is, someone claimed that the chief executive of a major operator used his power to enrich his family and sexually abuse women. As a result, New York Mayor Bill de Blasio ordered a review of those groups. Well, it's not related to the stock market, but I think it's important to remember that no one is untouchable and pulling ranks is not okay. He is not the only one to be accused of inappropriate things. Yoshiro Mori, the head of Tokyo Olympics Committee, who happened to be the former Prime Minister of Japan, resigned because a week ago he made some sexist remarks. While we are on the topic of Asian countries, most Asian markets were closed to mark the Lunar New Year. Anyway, have you noticed that it's kinda hard to get a PS5? I have, and there is an explanation. Many companies across multiple industries say that there is a chip shortage. For example, AMD and Qualcomm, they sell the chips to the top electronic firms, for example Sony. As if that wasn't enough, General Motors says the semiconductor crunch could cut its earnings by $1.5 to $2 billion in 2021. Think about it next time you worry about the newest PS5. That's still a shame. Don't be too sad, cheer up. A while ago I told you about the marijuana stocks. The Reddit forum Wall Street Bets noticed the sector and the shares went up a little bit. Well, maybe not a little, they were doing very well since the beginning of the month, and Reddit just helped them to grow even more. And we all know that the best stock market regulator is either Reddit or Elon Musk, right? Anyway, when some of them surged 10 to 50%, this kind of growth was followed with a massive decrease. Here are some graphs of some of the companies: Tilray, Organigram Holdings, Aurora Cannabis, and there are more. People on Reddit decided to hold and buy more, and if they're not selling, someone else for sure is. Like, all of them fell 20 to 30% on Thursday. Well, let's see what happens when marijuana is legalized. legalized, and there is such a tendency. If it's not legal in your state, don't buy the weeds, buy the stocks. This is not a call to action. We all sometimes want to have a piece of fairy tale in our life, and who do we turn to for that if not to Disney? This time there are no miracles, only a report of fiscal first quarter results. It topped the expectations, especially considering that their theme parks were influenced by the virus. I guess what saved them was their streaming service. Anyway, the numbers. Revenue is 16.25 billion compared to 15.92 billion expected and 20.86 billion year over year. Adjusted earnings per share are 32 cents when they expected a loss of 38 cents. Clearly, the business is suffering. That's the third quarter report in a row that shows a revenue decline. But good news, they expected even more severe losses. It's the end of the second week of February, so let's look back and see what are the best stocks of January. Those would be Walgreens Boots Alliance, Intel, by the way I have its analysis, and Amgen with advances of 26, 11.4 and 5% respectively. As for losers, well, 3 companies had severe declines. Coca-Cola was 12.2% of decline, Visa was 11.7% and Boeing was 9.3%. Nasdaq ended January up 1.4%, but S&P 500 was 1.1% down. There are 2 more markets in the US that are expected to show strong recovery after the COVID-related troubles, and those are truck and bus markets. They're expected to grow 150 and 50% each. The establishment of low emission zones and stringent emissions norms will aid this growth. The commercial vehicle market has serious competitors, which are the alternative fuel-powered vehicles. There are more and more global manufacturers, which leaves the commercial vehicle market with no choice but to move towards electrification. And if we're talking about the alternative sources of energy, the last year was a success for electric vehicle stocks. Tesla rose 750% at some point and NIO climbed 1,295%. But now Biden is working on so-called green energy revolution, so you might be interested in paying attention to such companies as Fisker, that has plenty of competitors but still has good chances and is often called the next Tesla, or Blink Charging, that is a new leader in EV charging equipment that's got very long legs, and FaceDrive, a Canadian startup also working on EV. Fisker is working on the vehicles with the recyclable parts, but it isn't gonna start producing until 2023, so it's a long shot, as the advance orders aren't expected sooner than late 2021. As for the FaceDrive, they have the flagship carbon offset ride-sharing and food delivery side of their business, but recently they acquired the Steer and it may be a boost for them. Analysts are excited about it. Anyway, go green, stay safe, and hit the like button. I'll see you real soon. Don't forget to subscribe and turn the notification on to be the first to watch my next video. Thanks, take care.